Well, I brought him in today for a meeting before practice and just told him these next two games are teams that very likely could end up 2-3 or next round if we get to that position. Opponents in both Denver and Portland, and back to back, they're both very physical teams that played very well, comparable records, and they're big teams that want to play physical, and we have to be prepared for them. So it's a real good match and a test, if we're going to strive for that best record play.
Is Denver for real? A lot of people remember them as a team that you swept pretty easily in the first round last year, but obviously have made some changes.
They're better defensively, and I think they've got a little better cohesion.
Chauncey helps too.
Nene helps. You guys always say Chauncey, but Nene helps a lot.
Does Chauncey help it off?
Chauncey does help. I'll admit that. The addition of Smith having a real good second part of the year, a bench that they can count on with Anderson, as effective as he has been, off the bench. They're really a team that has to be reckoned with.
In the finals, is having home court advantage a huge deal? Is it like Kobe's the best team's going to win no matter where? How big is it if it comes down to a game 7? Or even opening at home versus opening on the road?
When we played Utah as a member of the Chicago Bulls back in '96, '97, they felt that if they got home court advantage, they would have beat us. The next year, our records were tied, and they had won the season series, and so they got home court advantage. We were still able to beat them, but it was a much more drawn-out series, and much tougher for us. So we're, as a coaching staff, very well aware of how better it is to have home court advantage. But in this day and age, with a 2-3-2 setup, there isn't a great deal of advantage to have home court, except that you start at home and the kids end at home. But those middle three games can be very difficult.
Phil, it seemed like last night the reserves were much faster in getting into the offense, were cutting better, getting all the lane before the defense. Is that more of what you're looking for them?
They were very aggressive. I thought their defense, stepped up a little bit. That's been real important that they get some stops so they can run and not just get foul trouble or situations that end up with dead balls, and then they got to regenerate the energy. And they had 3 or 4 situations that were iffy to start the half and or the quarter that they got going, and then they got some traction and they really played well for the rest of that quarter, and it was a very successful quarter, a big boost for us.
So you can start to say.
I was just saying, is it just a matchup thing that dictates when you can keep Lamar on the floor with them and when you can't?
Some of it is. I just made a decision last night to go with Lamar and Josh in that situation rather than DJ, because I felt that Zach was a little bit smaller, and we needed the speed, the quickness to match up with guys like Nocioni, who's a 3-point shooter, and get ourselves balanced.